Yes, everyone, hello and welcome back to Football Talks. Welcome along if you've just popped over from FUTV and that stream. Double shift this morning. We're talking everything going on in the Premier League, the start to the Premier League, the surprise packages, the shocks, what's going on with owners and managers at the moment. Glasner with his situation at Palace. What the hell is NUNO thinking with Mazarakis? I think I said his name right there, didn't I? But Nottingham Forest at the moment. I want to ask the question straight from the top here because this is what I want to start with today. We're going through all of the papers, we're getting your thoughts in, so get into the live chat. Have Forest got stronger this summer? I can understand the issues with the manager and an owner if things haven't improved, but I'm sorry, I'm looking at the squad. I'm looking what Nottingham Forest have done, and I'm going, this actually isn't that bad. Like, what's he moaning about? Like, the squad, the strength of the squad. He managed to keep Gibbs White. You've brought in the likes of James McAtee. You've just brought in Douglas Luiz as well. You're bringing in other players around them, and they're experienced Premier League players. Like, I don't think Forest have done that bad this summer, and I'm trying to, scratch my head as to, what the hell is Nuno Espirito Santo actually doing here? Because Mazarakis is not he's not a man to be messed with. I fully see this situation developing now into a sacking. The talk is in the papers today that Nuno will be sacked this week, and Jose Mourinho could be back in the Premier League again. I mean, come on, how many lives is Jose going to get? I don't think that's going to happen. Some papers even saying that Brendan Rodgers could be coming back to the Premier League. Oh, what? No. No. Surely. There isn't... I tell you what, as your manager going into Nottingham Forest, you're lucky and you're not lucky, aren't you? Because you've got a manager... a owner there that just wants the best for the football club. All about the football. Massive and massive amounts of investment, but he just wants to have a big say on everything. I get it, but... I just don't... I don't like... There's something wrong with how he operates in a way, I feel. And Forest are just one of them clubs that, if they get it right, they can fly. And we know they can. It's good to have them back in the Premier League. I've said that since they've come back up. But it is a bit of a car crash the way that it's run by the owner. And I think Nuno... I think he's literally just come out and asked to be sacked. I think he wants out. That's how I see it with Nuno at the moment. I mean, Nottingham Forest fans, if you are watching or tuning in, where are you actually at the moment? Do you see the issue here in this? And could this actually really affect what has been a very good start, let's not forget, for Forest? Again, another chance this weekend to, get second win of the season and go right up there. But I actually think that they've done all right business. I think Forest will be a real force this season in the Premier League. I do. And I just don't get the fallout. I don't get what Nuno is moaning about at the moment. I understand that the owner can say too much and want to be involved too much, but he's actually said his main concern is about the squad and the strength of the squad going into this season. I think they've got a solid squad. I think they're very, very strong. Maybe one more striker. But yeah, Anthony Elanga missing. That wasn't great. But McAtee in, Douglas Luiz in, Premier League proven players. The fact that they managed to keep hold of Gibbs White and get him tied down to a contract as well is absolutely huge, I think. But not get into the comment section on this, everybody. When you're talking about the sack race, it might not just come down to performances on the pitch, it would seem. It seems like there's a lot of fallout going on. Like Glasner wants players in at Crystal Palace. There's the fallout there with him and the owners of the football club. The same thing at Nottingham Forest. Two teams that had really good seasons last season could be losing the managers because of what's happened in the transfer window. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I think it's a shame because both of them managers, I think, have done really well with the teams that they've got. And Nuno coming back and proving to everybody again that he can manage in the Premier League. It'd be a shame if he does go because he's another one of them straight hitters, isn't he, Nuno? He just says it as it is and he talks openly. But yeah, you tell me in the comments section to kick us off here today, everybody. But I honestly feel like he's got no chance. And knowing who he's dealing with, I just think his days are numbered now. I think he's done. He's gone. Ants, who has just renewed his membership, thank you very much, buddy. 6-1 United today. I feel a flood is coming. Once we start scoring, we won't stop, and we are going to start battering teams left, right and centre. Well, I hope you are right, my friend. Tune in before the Fulham match to watch Brighton, because the first winners at Benny Hill David Dickinson Stadium. It has changed its stadium name, hasn't it? I've heard about this. It has changed its stadium. Oh, God. It still won't beat the Tough Sheet Stadium at Bolton, I'm telling you right now. That's the best name around. That just sums up Bolton, to be honest. Tough Sheet Stadium. I couldn't believe it when I seen it, when I drove past it. And I seen it. Is that the actual name of the stadium? Is that what it's called? It's a mad one. Right, let's get some comments on this. Brendan Rodgers might as well bring back Slippy G and spank Crampard as well. Ant's rolling him out there. He's on form today. One sugar in coffee? ? Never thought I'd say this, but Stu, you Scrooge. Okay, people talking about their morning drinks as well. You can get that into the comment section. Of course, you can talk about anything on here. This is the morning paper round. We have a sort of chilled out live vibe going on in here. So bring up anything that you want to bring up in the comment section as well. I try and make it football first and foremost, of course. But yeah, talking about what is actually happening, looking at the Premier League table. I did it earlier on Football Talk, on FUTV. Forest there have got a chance to go top of the league today and then sack the manager the week after. Like, what's going on? What's happening in the world of football? That is a reality of today. It's like Nottingham Forest are playing Crystal Palace. Brought up both of them because both managers are on the brink, not happy with what's going on behind the scenes. But today, both can really, both of these teams could be in the top four today. Palace coming off the back of 2 trophy wins. Forest coming off the back of getting back into Europe for the first time in decades. Well, it is in decades, I think, actually. And their managers both being the first out of the door. Like I said, it's weird, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous. Quickly as well, while we're actually talking about everything that's going on in the league, we're going to bring you the up-to-date news from in and around the Premier League, obviously with transfers and things like that. And Romano is actually talking this morning about Gianluigi Donnarumma going to Manchester City, and the update on this. Gigi Donnarumma has agreed on personal terms with Manchester City, keen on joining Pep Guardiola. Negotiations are also underway between Manchester City and PSG. A fee will be under initial fifths on Edison exit this summer, with Galatasaray still keen. So Donnarumma moving closer to a move to Manchester City. I think that takes us straight into the Pep Guardiola aura, or lack of, or has it disappeared? And that's what we're looking at. Has it disappeared? Right now, what we're looking at, I feel, is Pep Guardiola football not being... I think it's been sussed out, and I just don't think players can continue playing the way that he wants them to play. I think he needs millions and millions and millions spending on the best talent in the world, and when it runs out and when he loses his best players... There's no way out of it for Pep Guardiola. He needs to spend another fortune again. Like Shirkey and Reinders yesterday against Spurs, done by their midfield, couldn't get on the ball. Manchester City fans wondering why Bernardo Silva, their club captain, was dropped after they beat Wolves 4-0 last week. Why is he tinkering so much? What's going on? James Trafford coming back to the football club actually looks like a waste of money right now, because obviously Donnarumma is going to come in and City have just spent 25 million and bringing Trafford back to the Etihad. What's going on? And again, Spurs beating Manchester City at the Etihad. It seems to be a common thing now with Manchester City. Like, why? Why does this keep happening? He has lost 10 games to Spurs, Pep Guardiola. How does anybody lose 10 games to Spurs? But they have got that sort of hoodoo on Manchester City, haven't they? It's the Etihad. It's Spurs turn up, and Spurs know that they're going to win. Like, how the hell in the world of football do Spurs fans turn up to one stadium in particular, and that stadium being Manchester City's Pep's and the Etihad, and be confident that they're going to get a result? That must be the only ground that they travel to, long distance, that they're feeling confident about getting a win at. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It is it's weird. But do you know what? Yesterday, Spurs, I thought were the better side. They had the better shots, they had the better opportunities, they were the better team. Thomas Frank has actually got Spurs playing very, very good football, and he's made them absolutely rock solid as well. 2 clean sheets to start the season is absolutely mega for Thomas Frank. I think he was talking in his interview afterwards, after the game. Spurs got 6 clean sheets last season, and this season already they're on to 2 in 2 games. It's a completely different side altogether, even with the same players. He's got Richarlison playing football. Like, who'd have thought that would have ever happened? And we're talking about them missing out on the likes of Eberechi Eze to Arsenal, and that being one of them Spursy moments in the transfer window. Again, like with the situation with Gibbs White, how do you manage to get a here we go from Fabrizio Romano and then the deal still not happen? How do you manage to agree personal terms with Eze and then he ends up going to your biggest rivals down the road? That's only something that Spurs can do. But on the pitch, it's been anything but Spursy this season so far. Is there anyone actually in the chat that thinks that Spurs have got a chance with Champions League football coming? Or is this just that typical Spurs start and they're just going to inevitably just completely collapse again? Or is Thomas Frank that good that we might actually see the change here in Spurs? Or are we getting ahead of ourselves with 2 wins out of 2? But they have, again, gone to the Etihad and beaten Manchester City on their own turf. I know we talk about that happening quite frequently, but that's still something that you can't ignore. That is actually a really good result. Glenn with a super chat says, thank you very much, Glenn. I remember when Leicester was the Walkers Stadium and someone at work used to call it the Chris Bowl. It's a good one, yeah. Oh, God. Get into the comment section, everybody. Talk to me. Do Spurs have a chance this season? Mr. Dacia Sandero says, Spurs are a lot better than they get credited for. They like United, underachieved, and now they have a very good coach in Thomas Frank to kick on. They are looking like a top 8 side for me. Aston Villa, not a top 8 side. They dropped off. There is one out of there already. Like, you're looking at teams that are going to be competing. You look at Aston Villa, it's like, who is going to fall away? Is it going to be Forest? We just talked about them obviously having a good start, can continue that today. When European football comes in, are they going to drop off? Looks like Villa already are dropping off. And I just look at this and say, right now, Villa, without massive investment, are going to be, I think, bottom half of the table this season. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? That's just how I think it's going to be. I think Manchester United will creep back in there, I do. But looking at Spurs, I had them down in the bottom half of the table as well. I'm going to have to wait to see with Spurs until the actual European football side of things starts, because I think that's when they're going to actually drop off. If anyone's sound is cutting out, do what I've done, refresh the stream. Is anyone's sound actually cutting out? Because everything seems fine on my side of things. It could just be a YouTube glitch or something. It has been happening a little bit more. I don't know what it is. If everything's all right now, just give me the thumbs up in the chat, everybody. But we have had issues with YouTube over the last couple of weeks, actually. So yeah, I think it is just a glitch on that side of things. Villa are crap, says Michael. Who has impressed you the most so far this season? Like, I know it's only 2 games, but you cannot afford to lose a game these days in the Premier League. And I think you have to take every single result, I think, seriously, because even though it's only 2 games in, I think this is going to matter later down the line in the league this season. There's very, very little room for error. And you can't afford to just go games without winning. And I think the situation with Villa right now is that financially they're done for. They haven't got any money coming in. They're having to sell their best players already. And I just think that the team is aging as well. I don't think they've got enough in there. I think they're going to have to attack the loan market again. Like, you can imagine, like, from last season, like, obviously they lost Duran, but then they've lost Asensio, they lost Rashford that they had the back end of last season as well. and they haven't improved anything. Ramsey going is a big loss for them also. I can't believe that actually happened. But we are looking here, I think, at Villa being the first one to drop away, Spurs being the surprise package coming up under Thomas Frank, and now it's open to everybody else. You've obviously got your Brightons who could come into the fold. Are they going to drop off Nottingham Forest? That's another question that we just asked before. But I do think that that Spurs. I've still got that Spursy thing in the back of my head that's going to happen. I think Spurs are going to have that moment. I think they're going to drop away, and I think everybody's going to be laughing at them again. I can't help thinking that. I can't ever take them seriously, and it's not fair really because they're playing well, and they should be given the credit. Like Mr. Dacia Zandero says, like we should be looking at Spurs as a threat right now. But you just got that feeling that something's going to go wrong, and it's always going to be there with them. They're never going to be able to. They're never going to be able to lose that tag. Spurs, they're not at all. Adam, someone I know in the football security industry says Leon Bailey has a drink problem. Nice. Well, I don't think they need to worry about him anymore. Then over there at Roma, I think Villa are probably hoping that they. I think they're hoping that they obviously get that obligation or that option triggered by Roma. But obviously, Bailey has also gone. And you're looking at, obviously, Jacobs, Ramsey going as well. I don't see how they get any better, Villa. I don't. And they're the surprise. We shouldn't be surprised, though. We shouldn't be surprised because they haven't invested that much and everyone else around them has. But I didn't expect them to be this bad. They've been awful so far this season. And like I said, they were lucky not to lose on the opening day against Newcastle. And if you can't spend money, then I think they're in big, big trouble. Big trouble. Let's just see what else we've got in here. Arsenal reach an agreement for Shamrock Rovers 16-year-old Victor. Oh, God, I can't even say that name. Osvahanu, I think I'll just say like that. Arsenal doing some recruiting work over in Ireland, therefore, young players as well. The other breaking news that we did have was from Romano this morning as well. If you are just joining us live, Donnarumma looking very, very close to agreeing terms with Manchester City. It looks like that is wrapped up and it's now club-to-club talks on Donnarumma after James Trafford's performance yesterday. A bit of wasted money for Manchester City going in. Again, Arsenal yesterday, everybody. Do we need to be worried about Arsenal? Is this their season? Get into the comment section now. That's the next thing we want to talk about. Kaz wasn't happy that Gyökeres was scoring goals yesterday. Upset. She doesn't like him. And you know what? Leeds is probably the perfect opponent to have as your first home game. As United fans will tell you, we done it under Ole and smashed them 5, didn't we? But yeah, Arsenal yesterday putting their marker down. Chelsea did it on Friday night. Of course, we did the watch along here on Football Talks, didn't we? It is kind of scary how these teams are finding it so easy to score goals. It's just like every time they go forward, they look like they're going to score. Yes, the opposition, West Ham and Leeds, respectively, for Chelsea and Arsenal, not great. But I think Arsenal, with Eze coming in, the options, 2 players near enough in every single position on the pitch of quality, there has to be a trophy this season, and it has to be the Champions League or the Premier League. Otherwise, Mikel Arteta has to go. Does he not have to go at this point? With the amount of money that he has had spent on him, he is getting close now to £1 billion spent in transfers. He is edging that way. And they need to start bringing in trophies. And they need to start bringing in the big trophies. If he doesn't win the league this season, is it a failure for Mikel Arteta? Get into the comment section, everybody, and tell me. What we need to be worried about is the disgusting standard of refereeing, says Ant. Some decisions, yes. Bit questionable at the moment. I'm not like there's a new sort of look from the referees going into this season. There's like this new vision again. There always seems to be this new this new sort of look on referees every single season. They're not getting involved as much. They're not going to go to VAR as much. They're leaving it to the ref's call. Well, it doesn't really matter. Again, like if the refs are going to be backing each other up from VAR to the pitch, then we're not going to get the right decision still. If they're not going to overrule a referee's decision, then it's pointless having VAR. Like the ref could drop an absolute blunder, but because his call isn't clear and obvious on the pitch as an error, then it's not going to be flagged. Honestly, I think we might have a problem with refs and VAR this season. I think they're just overdoing it. They're overthinking everything when it comes to the decisions that are going on. And again, there's been some questionable VAR decisions already just in the start of this Premier League season. We're only 2 weeks in. So I get what you're saying as well. Like, it is a concern. I also have a drink problem. Me and Leon are bar buddies. I really think that this could be Arsenal's season. If they don't win the league, sack Arteta. Should Arteta be sacked if he does not win the league? Michael says, thanks for the super chat block, buddy. Saka and Odegaard out. They will make excuses. It's far too early to tell how well Arsenal will do this season. Yes, they thumped Leeds, but United were better than them last week. For me, Arteta is not a good manager. No way on so many levels. Sorry, reading that one there. That was my fault. Sorry. Jin says, I still have Manchester United down in 12th. Sorry, but no keeper and no midfield will kill our season, and no backup keeper no backup keepers don't count either. Yes, I always said Arsenal will never win the league or Champions League with Arteta, especially if he can't do it this season. He needs to go. Tomo says, I will never understand why Murray took that penalty when Robbo... Oh, right, so we're talking about nostalgia again on that one there. Manchester United fan base need not to worry about Arsenal. As Liverpool fan, I am more worried about Manchester City. Like Ant says, VAR will be the issue. Trying to manufacture outcomes. Conspiracy theories flying around this morning as well. Another one from Michael quickly says, we play like we don't want to lose. We don't want to lose more than wanting to win. I hate this coach and these owners. Is that on United or Arsenal? What is it like? Make it a bit clearer there on that one. Right. Don't forget, we have had the news this morning that Manchester City have agreed personal terms with Gianluigi Donnarumma. That is the main headline, everybody. So, again, Manchester City, 4 goalkeepers. Manchester United, none. I still think Ortega's probably one of their better goalkeepers, and he's going to get nowhere near the starting lineup. But again, is it like I look at the big guns? Let's just say, for instance, are the big guns all fighting in that top 4? Who is going to win the league? Who is the favourites for it? I feel Arsenal probably look the best out of everybody right now. Chelsea were strong against West Ham, but West Ham were absolutely horrendous. Liverpool need to show me tomorrow night against Newcastle what they are, I think. These first 3 games before the international break in the league, like you can say that it's only early doors, but Liverpool handling their injury situation and players being out, I think the big test is for them tomorrow. I think the big test is Newcastle away. With everything going on with Isak, I mean, God, can you imagine? Like, it just had to be Newcastle against Liverpool while the transfer window was still open and the Isak saga was still carrying on. It's crazy, but still, I think that there's room in that one. I think Isak will end up going to Liverpool. I do think that will happen. I think after this weekend's football, I think this week we're going to get a conclusion to that. I think Newcastle will end up buying Nicholas Jackson. And Newcastle, another team that we've not spoken about in all of the big guns here, because, look, Champions League team wanting to get back in the top 4. They need to make signings as well. They're going to be a good sign as to where both Newcastle and Liverpool are at on Monday nights. They're the 2 that we've not really spoken about that much yet. But if Liverpool come out of that game with a win and are right back up there, I start of like edging towards Liverpool again. as the favourites to win the league. But I could see Newcastle surprising Liverpool tomorrow. And then everybody starts to talk, right, okay, new signings in, struggling to gel them all together, and they're bringing in Isak as well on top of this now. With no money spent, Liverpool were unstoppable. With hundreds of millions of pounds spent, Liverpool have fallen behind. It makes no sense, but we've seen this happen before with clubs. James, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for that. Andreas with a super chat also says VAR was supposed to help the terrible decisions. We are back to biased referees. Arsenal must keep Arteta so they never win the league. Speaking as a true Manchester United fan there. Right, in terms of Spurs' chances though, well, we just said that Spurs are going to go into the market as well. So if I'm a Spurs fan right now, I'm feeling a little bit upbeat. They had a Spursy moment against PSG. Should have won that game. They've gone into the start of the season. They've beaten Burnley, as you'd expect them to do. Clean sheet, well done. But going away to Manchester City on the back of losing Eze to Arsenal could have been a really bad week for Spurs. But no, sat pretty, joint top of the league. And there are reports that they are going to go in as well. And updates this morning on the Savinho transfer. Do you think that this is a good deal for both City and for Spurs? Should they be going all out for Savinho? Ben Jacobs has been speaking this morning. Tottenham are still trying to sign Savinho following talks over the weekend. Spurs willing to pay over 70 million euros. Wow. Manchester City want 80 million plus to reconsider their... City want 80 million plus to even consider selling Savinho at the moment. Manchester City have blocked the move all summer as they believe even a big sale could be a mistake due to Savinho's high ceiling. I can see Spurs pivoting to Ademola Lookman at this point. I really do think that they are going to go that way. I don't think Savinho's not worth that money at this stage. I think they'd be absolutely crazy to spend that much. You're talking here about spending more money on Savinho than you are on Eberechi Eze, who is a proven quality forward. Savinho's had one season, and he wasn't that great last season. I didn't really rate him. I definitely don't rate him above £70 million. That is ludicrous. It's absolutely ridiculous, to be honest, if Spurs go and do that. That looks a bit desperate. I actually think that they've got good players there already that Savinho's going to struggle to get in front of, to be honest. I'm not going to put him in ahead of Kulusevski. I'm not going to put him in ahead of Brennan Johnson at the moment. I'm not putting him ahead of Kudus at the moment. I actually feel like they need to be looking, ideally, at someone centrally. I know you could play Savinho centrally as a number 10. Maddison missing is a big thing for Spurs, but I don't think this is an ideal transfer for them. I think they need to go probably in for a Lookman who's going to probably be cheaper and has got Premier League experience as well. Well, that's ridiculous. Is there anybody there that actually would say that that's actually the right money? Tom, who has just renewed his membership, 4 months a member of Football Talks. Tom, you legend. Please give the video a like, everybody. Let's get them over 100 likes. Creeping up to that mark now, if you haven't already. Keep your comments coming in, everyone. It's a busy day of content today. Don't forget, we're doing the watch-along on FUTV later. We're going to have the calling show after that on Big Up, so you can all have your say after the game. I'm hoping it's going to be a very happy Man United fan base, and we're going to be all talking. About Manchester United winning and being a little bit upbeat. I know all of you people in here that are not Manchester United fans. I would love for you to actually come in to Big Up as well, by the way, and give a outside opinion on Manchester United and where we're at. So I know you like to listen in and laugh at us, all bigging up our chances of winning games. But we do like to get opinions on from other fans as well. So, yes, please do, if you are an opposition fan, come on and have your say. It's good to get a look from the outside on what's happening at the football club as well. Say It Island says 4-3 United today. That is a bet. What are the odds on that? I'm only given the other 3 goals because of the goalkeeper. I've got peri-peri chicken skewers and lemon and herb chicken skewers. Do I need to do some plain chicken ones? Serious stuff here. Yes. There is always that boring person that comes along to the barbecue block that doesn't like any flavour at all on their chicken skewers. By the way, I would eat all of them and leave none for anybody else. You don't have to ask Kaz about that. But yeah, make there a plain option. Make sure there's a plain option for everybody else. That definitely needs to happen, mate. Tony says, Liverpool had to bring in new players. Trent and Diaz wanted to leave. Robbo isn't the same player he was years ago. Nunez is not the man for us. No, I get it, mate. I do. I agree with you as well, Tony. You do need to bring in players. I'm just like, it's weird, isn't it? How you bring in better players, I think, as well. And it doesn't work. It's just so used to a system that as soon as you change anything or change any personnel, it just makes it not makes it worse, but it makes it a little bit more complicated. Players just get so used to playing a certain way at another football club, and then find it so difficult to adapt to a new system. It's like Ruben coming into Man United. I want to play this way. I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how a professional footballer cannot play a different system. You're a professional footballer. But they are so trained and drilled into playing a certain way. And triggers of systems and pressing throughout the game and different things that they need to do. They do need to think about a lot. They do. And it takes a little bit of time. The only thing I would say is, like, Premier League teams that have got like aspirations of winning the league, they haven't got time. They have to hit the ground running, which is why recruitment is so massive. And this is what I mean by Savinho coming into Spurs. Like, everything's working out well now. And he's got players that were there before playing better. Do you want to upset that now we're bringing one more player in that probably isn't as good, or he's probably at best on par with what you've already got? I wouldn't spend that money on a player like that, is what I'm saying. So your main transfer headlines going into today from the show here is that Gianluigi Donnarumma has agreed personal terms with Manchester City. That is happening. I can't see that not happening now, particularly after what James Trafford did in that game yesterday. Not covering himself in any glory at all. And then you're looking at Savinho being a top target for Spurs, who are going great guns right now after beating Manchester City yesterday and humbling Pep again at the Etihad. So that's where we're at. The manager's sack race could be down to fallouts between managers and owners. Glasner, Nuno Espirito Santo, both at loggerheads with their ownerships right now and the preparation for the season. Can have been left in limbo, or has Nuno been left in limbo? He has made some very, very impressive signings. And I'm sorry, if you've got a midfield there with Gibbs White in it, Douglas Luiz in there as well, on top of what you've already got, then you should be quite happy with what business has been done. I think Forest can be a threat this season again. I really do. But yeah, they're the main headlines. Get some more comments in, everybody. Please talk about anything you want to. Graham says, Liverpool's second half momentum from last season was downward. Their players had done the hard work before February. Signings can always disrupt team's momentum. Liverpool really were in cruise control last season. And it got a bit boring towards the end, didn't it? It did. There was nothing really for him to play for. They'd already done the job. Like Graham's right there, it did drop off because there was nothing left to do. Andreas, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you, my man. Love that. Ant says... No, sorry. Ian talking to Ant says... Wait, Grumpy... Oh, sorry. Another private conversation I'm interrupting. Are Liverpool going in? Like, Tony's in here, a Liverpool fan. I know we've got a couple of other Liverpool fans here. I would be absolutely amazed if Liverpool didn't go in for Mark Gahey. They need a defender. They need a defender, and they need one now. I mean, Frimpong, I don't know what that injury is and how serious that is. I don't like the look of Liverpool's centre-back partnership at the moment. It's looking very ropey. They need someone who is going to play alongside Van Dijk that they can feel confident in. And I'm not... I just feel like Arsenal are probably the best equipped right now. And we're not just because they've won 5-0. They were crap against United. We battered them. So there's obviously doubts still there about what's going to happen at Arsenal this season. But I just think with the signings that they've made, the cover that they've got, the depth that they have got, the strength at the back, and now bringing in more firepower on top of that with their midfield, which is awesome. I think they're the best position. Look, they've even got a reserve goalkeeper like Aspilicueta in there. No, Arrizabalaga, sorry, not Aspilicueta. I always get them two mixed up for some stupid reason. So Kepa's there. You've got Raya there, one of the best keepers in the world. A brilliant backline who have been phenomenal now for a few seasons. A great midfield with Zubimendi, Odegaard and Declan Rice. That is scary stuff there. And then the front line now that you can mix up between Martinelli, Eza, Saka, Trossard and Gyökeres in the middle with backup in Jesus and Havertz in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, they have got depth and have everything to win the league. They have to win the league this season. I think that is a must. Adam, I saw a couple of people in the FUTV chat mentioning Anthony to Brighton rumours. Any truth in those, or is this just more trash to ignore? Yeah, I did see something earlier on. I'm just trying to find it again now. Let me see. Right, yeah, there is Real Betis are planning to put forward a new proposal for Anthony to Manchester United on Monday after their initial attempt at a loan deal early in the summer was dismissed. So Betis are the closest. He isn't going to be bought by Brighton, mate. No, I think that is more crap talk coming. There is more coming from Sky Germany about Bayern Munich. Have discussed, obviously, internally, the possibility of signing Højlund and Jadon Sancho, but not gone anywhere near it. So that, again, other clubs looking at Manchester United players and saying, no, thank you. There's going to be, this is probably going to be one of the maddest transfer window weeks ever. And I mean, I'm talking in the history of the transfer window being open, the summer one. This week now is going to be non-stop. I'm going to be stuck in this seat talking about absolutely everything going on, and it's going to be absolutely crazy. I think it's going to be mental this week. So much to deal with. Like, you've got United's exodus, United bringing in a keeper. You've got Newcastle, the Isak situation, Liverpool buying another defender as well. You've got Spurs looking at players. You've got the scramble down at the bottom for players coming in as well. You've got all of the sack race and everything on top of that. It's the Carabao Cup thrown in between it. There's so much going on this week. It's going to be absolutely crazy. So all I want you to do now is make sure that you please do pop a like on this video as well. Make sure that you have subscribed as well. We're creeping up to 7,000. We want to try and get to 10k this season if we can, this year. Let's just say let's get to 10k this year on Football Talks. That would be a great achievement. We are making the channel better. We are bringing more things in. We're going to be doing more content, more watch-alongs. Yes, another watch-along tomorrow for the Newcastle and Liverpool game. That is coming, everybody. And that one's going to be there tomorrow also. But wait till you see the upgrades that we are bringing in as well. Cannot wait for them to come. And they are going to be very, very soon as well. Any more comments in? Who's going to win the league, everybody? Tell me. Who's taking it? Arsenal got injuries to White, Gabriel Jesus, Havertz, Saka, Odegaard. It's not as easy as you think. Liverpool aren't bad. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying that they have got the depth to handle it, I feel. And that's why they went and bought the players that they did in the summer. No excuse. Even with injuries, I don't care. He has to win the league this season or he's getting sacked. That's where I'm at anyway. And don't forget, everybody, throughout this season, we have Match Bingo sponsorship set up for all of our games and get involved as well with the Football Talks Match Bingo. That is the QR code at the bottom of your screen there, bottom left. Get involved as well in their Match Bingos. It is separate to FUTV, so it doesn't go towards that one. It goes to this. But for today, FUTV's Match Bingo is what we're running with for the game. Tomorrow we'll come back and we'll do the Match Bingo here for the Newcastle and Liverpool game on the watch-along tomorrow night. So, yes. That is it, everyone. That is your morning reports. Donnarumma agrees personal terms with Manchester City. That is the main headline. Who is going to be sacked first? Is it going to be NUNO after his outburst? Even if he goes into the top four, potentially top of the league today with a win, he could be sacked the day after. What a weird situation that is. Who's impressed you the most? Get all of your comments in the comment section below, please, everybody, once the live is finished. I will be back later on, obviously, on FUTV. Please join me there for all the match build-up and watch along later on. I'm going to go grab myself some breakfast, get ready for the day, prepare myself for a very long shift later on, and hopefully Manchester United winning, of course. But yes, please do get involved. Get your comments in below. Give the video a like on the way out. Make sure that you have subscribed to Football Talks if you haven't already. We're trying to hit that 7K mark.